How does the browser lay things out, and why does it lay things out the way that it does? Well, let's talk about the box model. So the box model refers to the fact that everything inside of a browser window is inside of a box. And these boxes can be changed, manipulated, and resized to fit the need that you need it to fit. And these boxes have different layers per se. So let's take a look at this box right here. Let's go ahead and open up our inspection tools. Let's take a look at the inside of the box first. There's many things to unpack here, so let's start in the center. So in the center, the very center is where the content goes. That's the blue that you're seeing right here. And that could be the text, that could be another box, it could be just about anything that you want inside of there. That's where you're going to lay the content. And then you've got this green outer portion. And this green outer portion is referring to the padding. So padding is stuff that's going to be pushing the content inwards. It's going to be pushing away from the outside towards the padding inwards. And then on top of that, you've got the border. Now that's this black strip all the way around here, and you can actually change and manipulate the border itself. This border is the layer between the inside of the box and the outside of the box. Now on the outside of the box you have that orange color, and now that orange color is referring to the margin on the outside of that box, and the margin is going to be stuff that's pushing away from the box. Now I know what you're saying, Kylan, that does not make any freaking sense. What are you talking about? So let's start from the beginning here. We'll create another box, just another div. Now it doesn't matter what element that you use, everything, like I said, is considered a box, so we can use a div, a span, anchor tag, anything that we want. So let's just create another div, and we're going to put content inside of here, and I am going to give it a class of my box. Now you can see we've got content here and we got nothing else. So let's fill it out so we can make it look like this box up here. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to select that box. So let's go over here and we're going to select my box, just like that. So the first thing we need to worry about is the content. We've already got the content. That's pretty straightforward. We added the content inside of the div tag over here. So the next possible thing we need to worry about is the padding. So that's the inside of this border here. Let's just give it some padding of, let's say, 20 pixels. So that doesn't look too much different. There's nothing here other than it just got moved a little bit. But let's inspect it here. Let's see what we actually did. So you see all that green right there, that's the 20 pixels of padding that we just added. So that's pushing away from the border. The border is right on the edge, and we can't see the border because we haven't changed the border yet, but it's pushing that content away from the border towards the content. So to see this a little more clearly, let's just add a little bit of border here. So we'll just select the border, and I'm going to use the border shorthand, and I'm going to say it's going to be a solid border, 8 pixels in thickness, and we'll just make it a black border, just a default border, and let's save that. Now you can see that this border is 8 pixels black solid border. Now let's inspect that now. If we inspect that now, we can see that that green is still there. We've still got that green padding in there, and the border is on the outside of that padding. That padding is pushing away from the border towards the content. It's expanding the region inside of the box. Now remember, the border is the separation between the inside of the box and the outside of the box. So it's pushing away from the outside on the inside. Now let's just round it out and we'll add some margin to it. So we'll give it some margin of 20 pixels, just like that. And you can see it looks like the box has shrunk a little bit. Now for simplistic reasons, I am going to actually comment this out so we don't see it anymore. So let's go ahead and inspect what's going on now. So let's grab our inspector tool, and you can see that orange on the outside, all the way around the outside of that border. And that's because the margin is pushing away from the border. Now here is where the magic happens. What do you think is going to happen if I add a background color to that box? Well, let's add a background color and find out. So we'll just add a background color and let's just make it green. Why not? Now, what in the world happened here? Why did it not just change the background color of the content? Why did it change the background color of the padding as well? And if it changed the background color of the padding, why didn't it also do it for the margin? Well, this is getting into the region of why you would want to use margin versus padding. As I said before, the margin is on the outside of the box and the padding is on the inside of the box. So anything that happens on the inside of that box is going to affect the entire inside of that box. Padding is just an extension of the inside of the box, where margin is going to be pushing other stuff away from that box. And you can actually see inside of your inspection tools, if you select that box and you scroll down here under the styles tab, you can actually inspect the content, the padding, the border, and the margin. So you can see that the content is on the inside there, with it's highlighted in blue, and then you can see the green, the padding that's being highlighted around the content, and then the border that is being highlighted in that light orange color, and then the margin that's on the outside that is being highlighted in that darker orange color. And you can actually see the values on here as well, the actual physical size of what the content is, then the padding for each side, and then the thickness of the border on each side, and then the thickness of the margin on each side as well. And that is the box model. If you understand the box model, you can more easily understand how you can move things around and manipulate the boxes the way you need them to. If you have any questions, make sure you post them down in the comments. I will always be answering your questions. If you did like the video, make sure you slap a like on it. Check out the full playlist, link is right next to me. Make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.